So, Nick, when we take a look at the unemployment rate here going from October to November, what do we see as far as state of Oregon is concerned?
The unemployment rate dropped to 5% in November. That's down from 5.3% in October. So Oregon's unemployment rate has averaged about 5% throughout this year, which is where we'd expect it to be during an economic expansion.
So, over this last 12 months here, you talked about the hovering around that 5% range, but it really has been declining. We had a lower rate earlier in the summer, but what did you see as far as characterizing over the past 12 months Oregon's unemployment rate?
A little bit of a roller coaster pattern, but within a very low level. So the unemployment rate started the year higher, fell during the spring, which it usually does, increased during the summer when we saw a large influx of people moving to Oregon or leaving school, starting to look for work. And then as we entered into the fall months, the unemployment rate started dropping again, and we're at 5%, which is, pretty much the range that we've been throughout the year. A little bit lower, a little bit higher throughout the year, but 5% is a very low level for Oregon.
So how does Oregon now fit in the whole national picture here? Because before we had always been a little bit behind, but it seems like Oregon's kind of closing the gap here.
Yeah, Oregon's unemployment rate is still really close to the U.S. average. The national unemployment rate was 4.6% in November, so we're a few percentage points higher, but that's very typical for Oregon. That's kind of average for us, even when we're adding a lot of jobs.
So where are we seeing the big movements in the economy here? Where's the job growth coming from?
It's a really broad-based recovery. We're seeing job growth across industries that are low paying, that are medium paying, and that are high wage industries. So the industry that added the most jobs in November and has really added a lot of jobs over the last year was professional and business services, which is a broad sector that includes everything from like accounting services to management of companies, company headquarters, to janitorial services.
Now, retail has been a little weak in Oregon.
Right. Retail actually lost jobs in November. Now, it's a seasonally adjusted number, which means retailers did a lot of hiring, as they always do this time of year for the holiday season, but they didn't hire as many people as they typically would, which results in a seasonally adjusted loss of 2,200 jobs in the retail sector. Not all sectors are doing the same thing. For instance, motor vehicle and parts dealers are adding a lot of jobs. Non-store retailers, which is like internet sales and mail order places, they're seeing job gains. But some sectors like sporting goods stores and bookstores and grocery stores have shown a loss of jobs over the last year.
Now, you talk about over the past 12 months, Oregon's job growth being around 2.7%. Give us an idea about what that means. Is that strong? Is it average? What's 2.7% mean for us?
Yeah, Oregon's over-the-year job growth rate of 2.7% translates into nearly 50,000 jobs over the last year, and that's a good rate of growth. We had been growing much faster earlier in the year. We had job growth rates of over 3%. So it's mellowed a little bit to this 2.7%, which is still pretty strong growth. And it's much faster than the U.S. job growth rate. Over the last 12 months, the U.S. had added jobs at 1.6%, so slower than Oregon's rate of 2.7%.
We mentioned earlier that the unemployment rate hit a low earlier this year. It had kind of slowly gone up a little bit. Now it's down again. Where's the momentum kind of taken us into 2017? Are we going to continue to see, do you think, a strong job growth, strong unemployment rate for Oregon over the next several months?
Yeah, the momentum looks pretty much the same. So a gradual decline in the unemployment rate. It's a really low level, so it's rare for Oregon's unemployment rate to get much lower than where we're at right now. The job growth rate had been really fast, is still really strong, and is expected to continue at this strong rate of growth for the foreseeable future.